it's Erin Smith at the Starters Club. It's Thursday, which means we're thinking like an entrepreneur, and today we're going to talk about how to goal set and prioritize and do things that actually move the needle. Hey, it's Erin Smith at the Starters Club, and welcome to Think Like an Entrepreneur Thursday, where we talk about the topics that are the mindset shift from employee to entrepreneur and how to understand business fundamentals. Today, I want to talk about prioritizing, because when we're an employee, it's pretty black and white. You know, you have to do certain things that have to get done at a certain amount of time, and and everything's really structured, and if you don't get those done, your job is not complete. But what happens is when you move into an employee setting or an entrepreneur setting, it's like task overload. There's tasks everywhere, and it's hard to pick and choose what's going to be the needle mover, what needs to get done. And there's one simple way I want you to think about this that will help determine what's going to move the needle forward. And that is profitability, okay? How are you going to, everything that you do, how is it going to generate to your bottom line? And if there's something that you can't quite determine how that's going to generate, or you think it's fluffier than it really should be in terms of your bottom line, then that needs to go away. Let me give you a great example of this. So when I started this business, I started it off a podcast, okay? I love the idea of podcasting. I'd done interviewing back in my corporate life, and so I was really excited about the potentials of this podcast. Now, what happened was I utilized it built my business, but I didn't take full advantage of that. I should have been offering more opt-ins. I should have been leading people places. I did a lot of work on Facebook that was fluff. It was fluff. It made me more popular, if that even really matters. I mean, it put my numbers up. Same with Twitter. I got my numbers up, but I wasn't bottom lining this. I wasn't generating people to certain things. I was putting out content that didn't lead anywhere. It was just a lot of shiny object syndrome. And so when I finally shifted things to say, all right, here's something I can do. Is this going to generate money? If so, how exactly can I strategize this to count for my bottom line? That's when things made the difference. I didn't create content unless it could lead somewhere. I didn't create an opt-in unless I had a strategy behind it of how I was going to lead and funnel people and, lead them to a product. I know you might be saying, ew, she's so salesy. She doesn't do anything, for the love of people. Listen, I give a lot of free content. I give a lot of information. I help a lot of people. And through every part of my business, you can watch all my videos for free and get information, or you can go more in depth by working with me one-on-one or taking one of my courses. I've got options for everyone, and I've worked really hard to make that happen. But everything has to lead somewhere. Another great example is a book. A lot of people have writing a book on their to-do list for their business. They want to do that eventually. And before you take on a book, I want you to think, how are you going to strategize that? How are you going to lead people to more? And don't feel slimy when you're trying to set priorities. When somebody asks you to do something, don't feel bad about saying no if it's going to drain you versus enhance you. And I don't want to say benefit you, but enhance, like how is this going to help you grow? If you want to do something for free and it's going to help your business in one way, again, bottom line, then go for it. But if you're going to get drained by it, if it's going to distract you from what really matters, don't do it. Everything you do should have a strategy behind it. Everything you do should be leading your customers somewhere, not just, hey, look at me, I got this up, come do this. You're going to exhaust yourself, and you're going to fail really quickly if you're just doing it to be more popular or be more fun. You've got to strategize. So hopefully that helps in determining what you should be working on next, what you should be doing. The next time anything comes on your plate and you're trying to figure out if you should do it, how can you strategize it into your business that it's congruent with what's going on? You can lead it makes sense and it leads somebody somewhere. You can take full advantage of it, and what I mean by that is the podcast. Are you going to half-ass it like I did, not take full advantage, or are you going to use it to all your possibilities? I'll give John Lee Dumas a shout out and how he's done that. The guy was a machine with how he utilized his podcast, not just in the sense that he leveraged it to, Podcast Paradise and all those things, but He took advantage of every opportunity to get people to his list, to give people more if they wanted it, and that's how he was able to build his list so quickly. So think about these things before you're like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I need to spend 20 hours in Twitter. Do you have a strategy of how you're going to generate clients from Twitter, or are you doing it just to look good? There's a massive difference. So hopefully that helps. If you have questions about where you should be focusing your time, what you should be doing, please comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Or I'd also love to hear where you're struggling. We're all there. We've all been there. I promise you, you are not the only one who has ever struggled trying to figure out what you should work on next. I promise you. So let's hear it. Let's go. If you need some help, come over to the Facebook group over at getabizstarted.com. Would love to have you over there. And as always, this is Erin Smith. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I'm with the Starters Club, and I believe everyone's got it in them to start a business. You just got to get started.